we're gonna go and learn how to use the EDDM mapping tool by the United States Postal Service. Okay, so easiest way is just for me to Google it. There it is. It's eddm.usps.com. So this one is the every door direct mail, the most affordable way to send mail to a certain farm area. So direct mail to farm all the homes. Now there's some, you know, pros and cons you can talk about right here. Mailing to everybody means you will be mailing to everybody. That's regardless of if they've just bought a house a year ago, a week ago, 10 years ago. It's really not as controlled, but if you're looking to build brand recognition in a farm, I personally wouldn't care if it's somebody that just bought a week ago, or if it's somebody that bought a month ago, or if it's somebody that bought 10 years ago. So for me, farming, to become a local agent and to niche down really to a hyper local market, I think it's one of the best things that you can do in addition to certain other lead gen activities, because just sending a mailer to become the area agent, unless you have a very, very good budget to do that multiple times a month, is not going to do it. So my mailing campaign is 6 to 8 months out of the year at this point, but again, this is not where I started out. I started out with walking a lot of my things, and then quarterly mailers was one mailing route, and then I kind of grew from there. So, but anyway, so you are right here at the mapping tool, and you can type in a full address if you wanted to center around your house, for example, or you could put in, you know, a city. So for example, let's take Palatine, Illinois. Search. Those are the 5 zip codes associated with Palatine. So let's say we're gonna take this one, continue. And if there's more zip codes you wanna encompass, but then again, of course, you wanna make sure it's within your budget, because it can add up quite a bit. Let me scroll down a little. So 60074 for the zip code. You can see here is all of this. Okay, so there is quite a few mailing routes there. So one of the things, I personally want residential only. I do not want to mail to businesses. I am focusing on residential, so I want to make sure I get that selected. And then you can kind of zoom in, and if there's a specific neighborhood you had in mind, you know, zoom all the way in till you get the desired subdivision. Let's see, I'm gonna go up into the northern quadrant here. Let's see, for example, here, this one seems to be a decent size. Let's say I wanted to focus on, you know, this area right here. The first thing I want to see is how many are there. So for example, I know those should be mixed houses. So there is single family homes in there, and condos, apartments as well. So you see here certain data like income. For example, 63,000, that's a good healthy income overall, I would say, to purchase a home. 65, this one here is slightly lower at about 50, so you know, maybe not the one I would want to start with necessarily. This one here is reported around 49, 47, 43, 38, 49. So for me, you know, I think I kind of want to stay in those two here if I wanted to farm the subdivision. And see if, you know, for example, I could build something up in there. So there's one. So if I select this one, it's going to show me, and if you see here, that number for residential, only. So there is 478. Now if I go to residential only, it drops down to 477. So there's one business in there. This one would be one mailing route, and I would need to have more than 477 mailers. So they generally get ordered in quantities of in the hundreds. So I would order 500, and the mailing cost here is $89.20 for this particular one. Now I still need to, and this is postage. Okay, so this is you still need to have somebody print them. What I found is that printing cost is typically about 1:1 in ratio to your mailing cost. So $90 in mailing cost, you can assume about $90 in printing cost. So you have, for that mailing route, it will cost you $180 to do one mailing to reach 477 people. $180, 477 people. Not too bad. Like I said, mailings are not a do it once and be done. Mailings are consistent. So if you look at that, okay, that's $180. Can I afford $180 every single month? If the answer is no, let's look at it from every other month. Can I afford $90 in marketing every month? Because 180, every 2 months, so $90 a month. So look at it from that perspective. If you're looking at quarterly, your cost would break down to do it quarterly, $60 a month. Can you afford $60 a month every month for the next year or two to see if this is working for you? Now, your budget is something that you need to decide, but generally you should be looking at about 10 to 15% of your income. For example, if you want to go a little bigger, select another mailing route. Again, you have, look at 116 addresses here. If I take that out, residential only, it drops to 114, so there's two businesses in there that I just took out. So those two, about $190 for mailing cost only. That's your stamping, okay? Assume about another $190 for printing. So now you're $380. Can you afford $380 every single month? If the answer is no, what about every other month? Can you afford $190 for marketing purposes every month? If now, break it down again. About $130, I guess it would break down to for quarterly, okay? I would not recommend going lower than quarterly, okay? If you are preferably, to be honest, bi-monthly, just because there's a lot of stuff happening and you need to make sure you are consistent. And again, supplement that with something else you're doing. Just getting a flyer or something in the mail every 2 months is probably not going to get you the traction as fast as you want it. One of my biggest and most favorite things is the garage sale, okay? It's work to organize it, but it is well worth your effort because you are contributing to the community. You're providing them something of value. And think about the person who's having a garage sale. The person having a garage sale is most often the person that is getting ready for a life change, getting rid of some stuff before moving. There's, children are going off to college and you're downsizing, so all their stuff needs to go, all the toys you've been holding on. There's a life event happening. So I love the garage sale, and I am highly recommending you do take the garage sale training I'm providing. But this one is just on the mapping tool, okay? So then from here, I said you can look into those two areas. Now we're looking at about 1,000 houses. It tells you the post office drop-off location. It tells you how many routes you have selected. If you click on here, it tells you that there is that post office facility located right here. This is where it needs to go. This is their designated drop-off location. So if you're farming from an hour away, you will need to drive to that closest post office facility. Okay, this is a designated drop-off. So just keep that in mind depending on where you're scheduling it. So this is about it. This is the mapping tool. Like I said, you can kind of see where this one is. Maybe you want to go in and you want to use your MLS to, pull data on canceled and expired. Maybe in addition to all those postcards you're sending out, you also want to target the canceled and expired and send them additional stuff so they can, keep on seeing you more frequently than just everybody here, and niche down that way. So yeah, those are, basic tools that you can use to really go down to a hyper-local market, become the expert, establish yourself, and then from there, do it again somewhere else. So if you wanted to, like I said, look into income, roughly look into, like, is that your avatar that you kind of want to work with? Um, you know, this one is quite geographic. Let's say you want to target seniors, like, I guess, or just, you want to find out how much that one is. So this one, ages, what is 6%, what 5%, maybe not the biggest area for seniors. So I wonder if there is a way. Let me see. There is a community. Let's see if I can target that. Hoffman Estates. Oops, Hoffman Estates, Illinois. I want to say it's this one. Let's see. Okay. All right, so this one is, I believe, 60192. I think has a senior community in there. All right, this one would encompass a little bit more. So now you're here at 14%. And obviously it tells me I cannot send fewer than 200. So I would need to select the second route. 777. I don't know if there's another community that has more older people. Oh, there's one. 10, 10, 11, 8, 7. So I mean, you see when you come playing around with this, where things are roughly at. So I hope it helped. I hope it was a good overview of the mapping tool and how you can kind of use it to establish your farm and get some ideas. And I will see you at the next training.